Hello, Anna. How are you today?
Hi, Max. I'm good, thank you. How about you?
I'm fine, thanks. I was just about to sort out my recycling. It's always a bit of a puzzle, isn't it?
It can be, especially with all the different bins and rules. But it's very important for the environment.
Absolutely. I try my best, but sometimes I'm not sure where everything goes. For example, what about plastic?
Plastic is a big one. Here in Austria, we usually have a yellow bin or a yellow bag for most plastic packaging. Things like plastic bottles from drinks, yogurt pots, and plastic trays from food.
So if I have a plastic water bottle, I should put it in the yellow bin?
Yes, exactly. Just make sure it's empty first. You don't need to wash it perfectly, but it shouldn't have food residue inside.
Good to know. I often wonder about the lids of plastic bottles. Do they stay on or come off?
It's better to leave them on if possible, as it helps with the recycling process. But some recycling centers might have different rules, so it's always good to check your local municipality's guidelines.
Okay, plastic in the yellow bin. Got it. What about glass? I have a lot of glass jars and bottles from food and drinks.
For glass, we usually have special collection points with different bins for clear, brown, and green glass. You need to separate them by color.
Clear, brown, and green. Why is that? Does it matter for recycling?
Yes, it does. Different colored glass has different compositions, and separating them makes the recycling process more efficient. It helps to make new glass of the same color.
That makes sense. So, a clear jam jar goes in the clear glass bin, a brown beer bottle in the brown bin, and a green wine bottle in the green bin.
Exactly. And remember to remove any lids or caps first. Metal lids go in the metal recycling, and plastic lids go in the yellow bin.
Ah, good point. I sometimes forget to take the lids off. And what about broken glass, like a shattered drinking glass?
That's a good question. Drinking glasses, even if they are clear, are often not the same type of glass as bottles and jars. They can melt at different temperatures. So, broken drinking glasses usually go in the general waste.
General waste for drinking glasses. Okay, let's talk about paper and cardboard. This seems a bit more straightforward, right?
Generally, yes. Most paper and cardboard items go into the blue bin or a paper collection point. This includes newspapers, magazines, advertising leaflets, and cardboard boxes.
So, my old newspapers and cereal boxes go there? What about pizza boxes? Sometimes they have food stains on them.
That's a good question. If a pizza box is clean and dry, it can go with the paper. But if it's greasy or has food stuck to it, it should go into the general waste. Or if you have one, a compost bin for organic waste. Food contamination can spoil the paper recycling batch.
So, clean cardboard, yes. Dirty cardboard, no. What about things like milk and juice cartons? They look like paper, but have a shiny lining inside.
Those are called composite packaging. They are made of layers of paper, plastic, and sometimes aluminum. Here in Austria, they usually go into the yellow bin, along with plastic packaging.
Interesting. I thought they were paper. So, yellow bin for milk cartons. This is why it can be confusing.
It certainly can be. But once you know the rules, it becomes much.
Okay, so we've covered plastic, glass, and paper. What about metal? Like tin cans from food or aluminum foil?
Metal items such as aluminum cans from drinks, tin cans from vegetables, and aluminum foil usually go into a designated metal recycling bin. Sometimes this is combined with plastic in the yellow bin, but it's often separate. In many parts of Austria, we have a specific metal collection.
So, if I have a can of soup, after I've emptied it, I should rinse it and put it in the metal bin?
Yes, that's ideal. Rinsing it helps to remove any food residue, which prevents odors and makes the recycling process cleaner.
And aluminum foil? Like from baking or wrapping food?
Yes, aluminum foil can be recycled, but it should be clean. If it's heavily soiled with food, it might need to go into general waste. It's also good to crumple it into a ball to make it more compact.
What about small metal items like bottle caps or old keys?
Small metal items like those can also go into the metal recycling. Just make sure they are not mixed with other materials.
Now, let's talk about organic waste. Food scraps, garden waste, that kind of thing.
Organic waste, also known as bio-waste, is very important to separate. We usually have a brown bin for this. It includes fruit and vegetable peels, coffee grounds, tea bags, leftover food, and small garden waste.
So, if I have an apple core or some potato skins, they go in the brown bin.
Exactly. Composting organic waste helps to create nutrient-rich soil, and it keeps biodegradable materials out of landfills, where they can produce harmful gases.
What about meat or dairy products? Can they go into the brown bin too?
Yes, cooked and uncooked meat and fish, as well as dairy products, can generally go into the brown bin in Austria. However, it's a good idea to check local regulations, as some areas might have slightly different rules for these items.
And what about things like paper towels or tissues? They are paper, but they are often used for cleaning.
If they are clean and dry, they could theoretically go into paper recycling. But if they are soiled with food or liquids or used for cleaning, it's best to put them in general waste, or if it's a very small amount and they are biodegradable, some people might put them in the brown bin. Again, local rules can vary.
This is really helpful, Anna. What about things that don't fit into these main categories, like old clothes or broken electronics?
That's where things get a bit more specialized. For old clothes and textiles, we have textile collection bins, often found in public places. You can also donate good quality clothes to charity shops.
So, not in the general waste. That makes sense. And what about electronics, like an old mobile phone or a broken toaster?
Old electronics are called WEE, which stands for Waste Electrical and Electronic Equipment. They contain valuable materials that can be recycled, but also hazardous substances. You should never put them in general waste.
Where do they go then?
You can take them to designated collection points, often at local recycling centers or municipal waste facilities. Sometimes stores that sell electronics will also take back old items when you buy a new one.
So, for textiles and electronics, it's special collection points. Let's discuss hazardous waste. What exactly is that, and how do we dispose of it?
Hazardous waste includes items that can be harmful to health or the environment if not disposed of correctly. This includes things like old paint, batteries, chemicals, energy-saving light bulbs, and medicines.
Batteries? So, AA or AAA batteries, for example?
Yes, all types of batteries, including those from remote controls or old mobile phones, should be collected separately. You can find collection boxes for batteries in most supermarkets and electronics stores.
And what about old medicines? I sometimes have unused pills or cough syrup.
Unused or expired medicines should be taken to pharmacies. They have special disposal systems for them. Never flush them down the toilet or put them in general waste.
That's good to know. And paint or chemicals.
For paint, solvents, or other household chemicals, you usually need to take them to a municipal recycling center or a special collection point for hazardous waste. These facilities are equipped to handle them safely.
So many different rules. What about general waste then? What actually goes in the general waste bin?
The general waste bin, also called residual waste, is for everything that cannot be recycled or composted through the other separate collections. Think of it as the last resort for waste.
Can you give me some examples?
Yes, this includes things like dirty paper towels, broken ceramic items or porcelain, vacuum cleaner dust, disposable diapers, hygiene products, and heavily soiled packaging that can't be cleaned.
So, if something is completely non-recyclable or too contaminated, it goes into general waste.
Exactly. The goal is to minimize what goes into general waste by maximizing what we sort and recycle or compost. The less general waste we produce, the better for the environment.
It sounds like the general waste bin should be the least full bin in my house.
That's the idea. It means you're doing a great job of sorting everything else.
This has been a really comprehensive guide, Anna. Thank you. Are there any common mistakes people make that we should mention?
Yes, a few. One common mistake is not rinsing food containers. Even a quick rinse makes a big difference for recycling. Another is putting plastic bags of recycling into the bins. Often, recyclables should be loose, not in plastic bags, as the bags can jam sorting machinery.
So, empty and rinse and no plastic bags inside the recycling bins themselves.
Correct. Also, remember that not all plastics are the same. Look for recycling symbols on packaging, like the triangle with a number, which can sometimes give clues. Though for general household recycling in Austria, sticking to the yellow bin for most packaging plastic is the main rule.
And what about those items where you're just not sure?
If you are truly unsure, It's always best to check your local municipality's waste guide or website. They usually have very detailed information. And if you still can't find an answer, putting it in general waste is often the safest option to avoid contaminating an entire batch of recyclables.
This has made sorting my recycling much clearer. I feel more confident now.
I'm glad to hear that, Max. Every little bit helps. When we sort our waste correctly, we contribute to a healthier planet by saving resources and reducing pollution.
It's true. It takes a little extra effort, but it's worth it for our future.
Absolutely. And it's a great way to be more mindful of what we consume and how we dispose of it.
So let's quickly recap. Yellow bin for most plastic and composite packaging. Clear, brown, and green bins for glass. Blue bin for paper and cardboard. Metal bin for cans and foil. Brown bin for organic waste. Special collections for textiles, electronics, and hazardous waste. And general waste for everything else.
Perfect summary, Max. You've got it.
Thanks again, Anna. This conversation will be very useful for many people.
You're welcome, Max. Happy recycling.
You too.